What does it mean to be great? Our world tends to define greatness by things like power and influence and wealth, social media followers and awards and achievements. From an early age, we're taught to chase the spotlight, climb the ladder, be seen, be celebrated. But then we come to John 13, and Jesus, right before the cross, is about to completely turn that idea upside down. Jesus redefines greatness through humble service. Let's look at John 13. It says, Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. So Jesus, fully aware of who he was, Son of God, Creator, Master of the universe, gets up from the table, wraps a towel around his waist, kneels to wash his disciples' feet. This wasn't just any act of kindness. Foot washing was the job of the lowest servant in the house. And remember, this was the day of sand and dirt and sandals. These weren't like freshly clean, nice pedicured feet. These were dirty feet. And no one else offered to do it. The disciples were actually too busy arguing about who was the greatest. And so Jesus, the greatest among them, became the least. And he didn't just wash Peter's feet. He washed Judas's feet as well, knowing fully well that that same night Judas was going to betray him. Why? Because love serves even when it costs. And Jesus wanted his disciples and us to know this is the kind of life that fulfills. I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I came across a post that said, sometimes I joke about what I would do if I had one more day to live, eat junk food, go crazy, etc. And today it hit me. Jesus knew, and he washed feet. In his last day on earth, Jesus washed feet. Jesus knew the cross was only hours away. He could have focused on his own suffering, his own fear, his own needs. But what did he do? He loved. He turned outward. He showed his disciples a love that would stay with them even after he was gone. This moment wasn't just about clean feet. It was about revealing the heart of God. Jesus didn't just teach servanthood, he lived it. And he calls us to follow his example. He told his disciples, now I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet. You also should wash one another's feet. In other words, true greatness is found in serving others. That gives us hope. God sees value in small, behind-the-scenes acts of kindness. When we serve others, we're walking in Jesus' footsteps and discovering joy that status and success could never fulfill. We often think small things don't matter, like doing the dishes or changing diapers or encouraging a coworker or checking in on someone who's struggling or even picking up trash when no one else sees it. But Jesus says, that's greatness. God sees those quiet, faithful acts of love, and he delights in them. If we want to follow Jesus, we can't just admire him. We have to imitate him. And that starts with picking up a towel. So ask yourself this today: who in my life needs encouragement? What small tasks can I do today with love? And am I willing to serve when no one sees or applauds? Because that's where greatness begins. In a world chasing platforms and power, Jesus wraps a towel around his waist. He bends low, he serves, and he invites us to do the same. The greatest people in the kingdom of God aren't the loudest or most famous. They're the ones who quietly kneel, love deeply, and serve faithfully. So let's stop asking ourselves, how can I be great? And start asking, whose feet can I wash? Because when we serve others, we look the most like Jesus. Happy Holy Thursday, everyone.